Hi guys, I'm Jeanine and welcome into my kitchen. Last on the video show here, I shared pinto beans, I believe, and telling you about the blue zones and how I want to get into beans and eat more beans. I eat a good amount regularly, but now I want to amp it up more. So you're going to get my favorite recipes. I got about 6. This is black beans today. Delicious. And if you think like, oh, pinto beans, red beans, black beans, they're all similar. Probably some people feel that way, but to me, they all taste different and I eat them with different things. So that's what makes them interesting, delicious, and just a great protein. These are green wise that I get. If you see my channel and watch me, I look for them on sale at Publix. These are organic, low sodium. That's a good bean, okay, by Greenwise. And I paid $1 because it was buy one or 10 for 10, which brings them to $1 each, but you don't have to buy 10. Don't think so. In any event, one, I think off sale would be like $1.79. It's double the price. So, I mean, I stock up. I have about a dozen cans in my pantry right now about pink, pinto black, a garbanzo, and so on. And I'll be showing you all these recipes if you care. You seem to like the pinto one, and it was delicious. It really was. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible and free-flowing because I see my recipes are suggestions, inspiration. Nothing's written in stone. Don't feel like that. And you will never learn how to cook if you think like that and you want, oh, wait, how much did she put of this? No, you don't have to do that with my recipes, and I'll show you and help you why, okay? Because that's how I learned. I've been cooking a long time, but I remember when I burnt everything. I cooked chicken with the plastic gizzards inside of it. I didn't know how to make one bean or a can. I was terrible. But once I got my first 1 or 2 recipes going and they were good tasting, I was hooked. All right, so let's make it simple. And I have some leftovers, which is smart. I'm going to show you what I have left from making the pinto beans. And I shared that I diced up the onion and the green pepper in the food processor. It's the same base when you're doing beans for a good amount of them. I won't say all of them, but for a good amount of them. And then you play with it and mix around. This is pepper and onion and olive oil. And I'm going to add tomato paste. You could use a half a can of tomato sauce. You see me in the pinto beans use fresh tomato. There is tomato powder I've made my own paste with. And then there's the canned stuff I always keep on hand in case I'm lazy or I run out. This roughly runs out to about $1. This is organic, maybe more. I bought it in bulk at Costco, 12 pack. Basically, it's 1 can to $1, you'll get about 10 servings of this. So think about it, it's 10 cents. 10 cents worth of tomato paste rather than going out and feeling you have to buy the 8-ounce cans and they get wasted or you have to cut them in half, whatever. So if you stick with the tomato paste as your additive to your beans, you're ahead of the game already. You saved money and time, and I'm gonna cube that up. The rest of it. This is all you need is a teaspoon. Another thing, the Goya ham. This is if you don't have meat on hand or bacon or anything to add that extra umami flavor to your beans. Maybe you have diced ham or leftover few pieces of deli slices. These are all things you can put in to your beans to flavor them. And if you don't have anything, I keep this on hand. This is my secret weapon. This is the ham seasoning by Goya. I cannot tell you how delicious this makes your beans taste. Because you're eating them and saying, but I have that white bean ham flavor in the background. But I don't see no ham. And I learned this from a Puerto Rican lady years ago. She was on YouTube and I loved her. She doesn't have her channel anymore, but I believe her videos are up there. I gotta look for her name. She was fantastic. And this was her secret weapon to her picadillo, which she would put it in. And picadillo, I don't see ham in it, but with this flavor, I made her recipe. It was delicious. Okay, let me move it along because I get too passionate about food. I could talk about it all day, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. They want the recipe. But black beans, tomato paste, your ham seasoning, good chicken broth. It could be homemade, it could be my jarred, like you see here. This is low sodium. This is an expensive brand, I'm not gonna lie or try to switch it out or tell you it's not. It is, but it's the perfect amount, and that's why I buy it. My beans get this one container and they're on point perfect for me. So it's the can of beans, the one broth, the envelope of the Szechuan ham, the tomato paste, and let me move things out of the way so not to confuse you. salt, garlic, pepper, that's additional. And I'll tell you, the main component is the sazon with culantro and achote. This was in Goya's recipe for the pinto beans, and I'm going to use it again in the black beans because this component was delicious. So if you buy this and want to do all your Latin beans or all your beans to have this one major ingredient, that's smart. This wasn't very expensive. This was $3. But look at the size of it. I mean, you'll be making beans for months. Once you have your base of your seasonings, your little ham envelope, and your sazon, and your beans, the rest is pretty easy. So just let's watch me do it quick. I gotta get my cooking oil. I messed up and used my good organic drizzle oil, but you can. I was frying with it and using all my good stuff when I only need a minuscule amount. This is extra virgin premium blend, great for frying. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that, about a tablespoon. Okay, now my sofrito, my little peppers and onions here are frozen, so we're gonna have to try to work with that. Okay, I'm gonna move it around quickly. And then we're going to add the tomato paste. It goes quick. It's not a difficult recipe. Okay. Water and oil don't mix. We all know that. I'm doing a bad faux pas here, so let me move it over before I burn myself or my ingredients unjustly. You don't want to burn nothing. You could add extra fresh garlic to this if you want. For some reason, I like the onion to be the main flavor of that in my beans. Onion rather than garlic. But you can. I put a little dash of the dry. Then I'm going to show you how to do extra flavorings. Extra will be what you love. And I'll give you some options. I'll tell you. That's why I talk. Okay? Now that's all melted down. Okay, now we can resume the heat. Nothing's burning. Okay? Now we'll add our tomato paste. A teaspoon. And we'll cook that through a bit, get that tomato flavor. Like I said, the tomato component could be whatever you have on hand. You saw me, I ran out of my paste in the pinto beans. I was panicking, and I said, don't panic. I had a half of fresh tomato. Chop it up. Tomato, fresh, paste, powder, whatever you have. That'll take half the fear out of thinking you need a recipe. See how you don't? Why it's not good to stick. Some recipes, of course, they require that. But your daily, weekly, home-cooked stuff like I like to make, I don't want complicated. I cook the things I love over and over, and I love to be able to do it effortlessly. Okay, so that's blended. It smells amazing already. You could stop here, just throw the beans in and salt and pepper and warm them up for about 30 minutes, and you'd be good to go. But I'm extra. I like more flavoring. I don't like following the can. And if you were curious and you used Goya beans, their recipe on the can is very good as well. Now, last time I took some of the starch out. I like my beans creamy. I'm leaving all the starch in, okay? My sofrito and my tomato paste and my olive oil all blended, cooked down a bit for a few minutes, 2 minutes. We're gonna also add a can of water to it, or a half can. So we did that. Let's get our ham flavoring in. A little envelope of that. Okay. Now we're gonna put our chicken broth. Okay. See what we're doing here? We're getting them ready. And the reason I keep my sofrito light and simple is because I don't like a lot of spices. But if you do, and you're a cilantro lover, now at this point, you could chop up a little cilantro, throw it in. Fresh herbs you like, extra dry herbs you like. Now's the time to put those things. I'll show you what I do. And hope you like it. I put a little bit of salt, because my beans are low sodium, right? A little bit of salt. Let's get pepper out of the way. A little bit of pepper, not much. Now, a little bit of garlic. Okay. We got the sazon. Let's do the sazon. Now, excuse me, I'm having my coffee. I'm still up. It's early here. What time am I making beans? It's only 10 o'clock. Okay, a little bit of this. Eyeball a teaspoon. There's the Latin flavor already. You can stop at sazon, the culantro achote. Okay, but I said I'm extra. And I've got this. This is organic. I didn't even know. Everybody's coming out with all organic and spiced ones, and I love it, especially with Goya and the adobo and all of that. It's good, you know, the organic. This is all-purpose seasoning. This is for rice, for meat, for beans, for fish, for everything. So I put it in everything I do, pretty much. Oh, I just love the smell of it. It smells like Puerto Rico, okay? And I'm half Puerto Rican, and I've been to Puerto Rico. This is that Latin smell. And these aren't Cuban black beans. They're not even Puerto Rican black beans. They're Jeanine's black beans. So there you go, guys. Those are my main components. That is how I do it. I'm gonna add a half a can of water. I almost forgot, but I would have noticed. Another thing to tell you, you would have noticed because you would have said, oh, they're a little thick. And I know I have to stew them for about an hour. So why, you know, you'll know when to add extra water, when to let it cook more to steam out if you put too much water. These are the little things I learned over the years and over time. That's what I want to share with you. Not a written recipe, those things, because that's what really helps you cook. All right. And you use the can. Why do I use the can? Why would anybody use the can? Because we're swirling up that extra starch we want. We don't just want thin water. We want the starch. That's why all the cooks do it. My mom did it. My grandma. All right. Now I only put a half of the can of water because we used the whole entire chicken broth. And now all we do is let it, you can see how much water it's got. Let me see, it's got about about an inch of water above the beans. You'll know. Now, it has to just put it on a low simmer. Let it simmer for about an hour. Everything's gonna taste absolutely delicious. Low simmer for an hour. You, at that point, taste it for salt. If you want something more, you love seasoning, add it. But more importantly, if it's the thickness you like, you want it not pasty, but imagine you're gonna put it over rice and you want it to have that little bit of juiciness to your beans. You all know what beans look like over rice when you pour them or you serve them. That's the consistency you want. You can't really say that. You have to see that. And that has to be something that I like mine maybe a little thicker than you, or you may like yours a little soupier. So that's up to you. See what I'm saying? But you can't write that. I can't say, cook them for 30 minutes and they're perfect. They may not be. They may be too watery for you or me, or for someone else to say they're just right, because now I want to make them into a black bean soup. You know what I'm saying? You can at that point. You could switch it right, just add more chicken broth, and then now they're bean soup. All right, so that's it for now, guys. I will show you if I have time later in a separate video or to add it to this video. I will try, I can't promise. I will show you how I eat them. These are pork chunks that I had left at the end of a roast. They're fatty and meaty. They're both blends of like a loin chop, delicious, but they're frozen. I have to defrost them, marinate them with all my goodies, and then I would pan fry them in a few minutes to keep them tender. And that would be with the beans over white rice and these pork chunks seasoned on the side. Okay, I'll see you sooner in the next video.